Life Wisdom Conference is something that began last year in August, okay, but it was on a low scale until the Lord placed it upon my heart to open it up to the public. And with the Wisdom Conference, I share very important things, wisdom nuggets that I believe, if they are well appropriated in a person's life, you would become successful in whatever that you are doing, be it in the financial sector, in entrepreneurship, in relationships, marriage, parenting, ministry, religion, spirituality, education and academics, research, whatever that you are doing. Even if you're a driver, you can apply these things and you would lift up your status, or you would be successful in whatever that you are doing. This conference is not for people with a mindset of mediocrity. It's for people who are determined to make it in life at all costs and to be successful no matter what it takes to be successful. Okay. A very important statement was made by an influential man. He said that the price to pay for success is never too costly for a man who is so much hungry for success. It is never too costly for somebody who is passionate about being successful. The price to pay for success is never ever too costly. There are some things I want you to know, that the future belongs to the people who prepare for it. The future belongs to those who prepare for it. If you have something to write, you can write it. The future belongs to those who prepare for it. Okay. And success is not an accident. If you want to be anything in this life, you want to be successful in whatever you are doing, it is not an accident. It is worked at. People diligently work at whatever they want to become successful at. Okay. There are no naturally born failures. Nobody was born a failure naturally. Never. No one was born a failure naturally. Okay. There's no naturally born failure. All failures are man-made. All failures. Yes, in fact, I should even use the word self-made. Okay. Man-made failures, self-made failures. People who fail is two things. It's either they are doing, it's either they are not doing the right thing to succeed, or they are not in the right place. The two things. So it's either or both. Those are two things that bring about failure. But I'm hoping that as you are consistent in this wisdom conference throughout the years to come, one at a particular wisdom conference, I'm hoping by the next 5 years, let's say when we are holding the next 5 years, the wisdom conference will be holding all the people in this first meeting. You come with your great, you would have been successful, and you would have come with your great entourage or whatever. Your countenance alone will be something else. And I believe that as great men and women you are, we have a great destiny that awaits us. Sure. Now to the main thing. Okay. Don't forget these things that I've said, that success It's not an accident. It is worked at. There is no naturally born failure. And also, the future is for those who prepare for it. You have to look at the future and work at it. It's for those who prepare. You don't sit down and then it will come. All right. So that is it for Wisdom Conference. So Wisdom Conference is going to continue online. It's going to continue, and we are going to move it and move it and move it to the glory of God, touching and influencing many, helping many to be successful in whatever that they are doing in this life that God has given them. All right. An important thing that I would say concerning the Wisdom Conference. All right. So Wisdom Conference, like I said, is in seasons and in episodes. We are in the first season, season 1, started last year, where I had some number of episodes. I did 3 episodes, and I think the most recent one was in March, where I did episode 3. And because I decided to now make it public, I decided to do a recap from episode 1, 2, 3. Then I'll continue with episode 4. Like I said, it's a quarterly meeting, and this quarter we've already had this quarter's own. We had it in March. And I'm just doing a recap. I mean, last quarter's own. This quarter's own is going to come off either next month or next 2 months. Everything is ready and set. Just waiting for the date to come from God, and then we'll move. All right. So if you can see my slides, if you look to the lower right portion, you see a scripture. I believe everybody here is a believer. So I can move on. I too am a believer. I'm a Christian. Yes. But this conference is open to all kinds of people. Yes. And in the coming weeks, we are believing God that through this conference, as it's open to all kinds of people, many through this conference will see the wisdom in Christ and even give their lives to Christ. Hallelujah. Yeah. Now, in Luke chapter 16, verse 18, knowing that everybody here currently following me is a believer, Jesus was speaking and he said something that there was this dishonest manager who his owner or the head of the institution in which he was managing caught him and saw that this guy, he's stealing my business small. He's corrupt. He's not correct. So I'm going to sack him. So he told the manager that he's going to sack him. And the manager did certain things when knowing that he was going to be sacked. And Jesus was giving this story and said that the master of this dishonest manager commended him because he had behaved wisely. Then Jesus now says something that, for even the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Jesus makes us say that even the children of this world are in their own generation wiser than the children of light. It means that Jesus was teaching something that we could learn from somebody who is dishonest, a certain dishonest manager. He was wise. So Jesus was teaching us that we can learn wisdom from anything that we actually wish to learn wisdom from. And the Lord has been showing me so much wisdom from different things. And in the Wisdom Conference, we're going to learn wisdom from the unusual, wisdom from the natural, wisdom from anything. Okay. I want to issue a disclaimer that Wisdom Conference, for models that we use in the Wisdom Conference, we are in no way projecting or propagating anything concerning whatever model that we are going to use. We are only tapping of the wisdom We're only segregating and bringing out the wisdom in whatever model that we are going to learn from and pick for our particular episodes. Okay, so that is one thing you should keep in mind. Try as much as possible to follow throughout. Okay, in as much as I'm experiencing some network hitches here, I'm sure some of you might be experiencing some network hitches. The session is being recorded, and I'll try as much as possible to release it. Yes, I'll do my best to release it for as many that would like to have it. Okay, sure. Now, I'm moving even into the episode 1. Now, our model for episode 1 in this wisdom conference is a man named Charles. This is a guy popularly called Shatta Wale. And if you are in Ghana or were in Ghana, you should know this guy or you should have heard of him. All right. Now, this guy, Shatta Wale, our focus is not on any aspect of his life, but on his release of a particular song that was titled King Already or Black is King or something. I don't even know whatever it's called, but and he did this song together with Beyonce, or let me say Beyonce featured him, something like that. The song was released on 31st July last year. Okay. Now, why are we using Shatta Wale as a wisdom model? Because this guy did certain things around the time of the release of this song, which are things we as children of light can learn from. We are not to learn Shatta Wale's attitude or behavior or whatever he does. We are not fans of him or anything. But if Shatta Wale is doing something that there's wisdom inside, you need to put down your pride and learn the wisdom and apply it to your field and see whether it will work for you or not. And these are principles of life that actually work in any aspect if only you learn to do it and do it the right way. So we are going to go into what Shatta Wale did and how this has made Shatta Wale a successful musician in the past year or in the past few months after the release of this song. All right. So the first lesson that we are going to learn from our wisdom model for episode 1, who is Shatta Wale, is the wisdom of association. The wisdom of association. Now, this guy started his music career misbehaving about, doing a lot of things, and it was like this guy is not going to go anywhere. He's not going to go far. And this guy went back underground and went to do his background work. He went to polish his career and came back on the scene. Now, if you are very observant, you will see that Shatta Wale has an office. He likes wearing suits to places unless he's going to those his things. Okay. He wear his suit. He behaves like an official person. You understand? I can tell you that this man has been meeting presidents of countries. What is this thing that triggered it? This guy learned that in order to elevate your career, in order to be much successful as a person in this life. Okay, you see, somebody is even saying that when he first came, he called himself Bandana or whatever. And he was fooling about. And he used to go and stand at places and remove his buttock, show his this thing. But he saw that this thing, if he follows this thing, it's not going to help him. So he changed his approach. Okay. This guy saw that you can he can lift his career by working with certain kinds of people. So he began to put things in place such that he will build himself to a place where he can work with certain kinds of people. Okay. And so he rearranged his life and started behaving in a better way than he was at first. And he was rising little by little, but there was a limit to it. And Shatta seeks to raise his career higher. And by this wisdom of association, he managed to feature in a world renowned musician's song. This is Beyonce. These are people that have been in the music industry for long. In fact, me, I heard of Beyonce when I was a child. They were already reigning in the music industry. Jay-Z and these kind of people, they were already there. And when that time, I'm sure he didn't even know that he would be a singer or he will be a whatever. I think he's a dance hall artist or something like that. But he has managed to rise to the ranks by wisdom. Now, there's one thing that we, even amidst this wisdom of association, he applied another type of wisdom, which is the wisdom of reinvestment that I want to quickly highlight on. Some few weeks or days after the song was released, he was being interviewed, and then he spoke and he said that there's some of the money that was coming from the song that they did, the featuring that he featured in. Okay, he actually asked that that money be given to Jay-Z, and that he's begging Jay-Z or he's asking Jay-Z, whichever it is, that he wants to do a song with him. Can you imagine? He wants to feature in Jay-Z, a song that Jay-Z is going to do. If you are someone that listens to Shatta Wale or Euphoric, you see he's always trying to compare himself, not really compare, but liken himself to Jay-Z. People were saying he has a big mouth, and he said Jay-Z has a big mouth and something like that. It's like it's kind of his role model or something. And he's rising through the ranks. How is he doing? By the wisdom of association, wisdom of reinvestment. Okay. Shatta quickly just rose like that once by this song that he did with them association, just by working with them, by doing a song with Beyonce, his life has just been lifted. And I think I wrote something down that who you work with will determine how far you go in life. Who you work with is going to determine how far you go in life. You should really get that point clear and understand this wisdom of association and understand it clearly. I wouldn't like to waste, not necessarily waste, I wouldn't like to take so much time on this subject. I want to move to the next lesson, and that is then on the lesson, I mean, on the wisdom of silence. Amidst working on this big hit, this song, Shatta was quiet. In fact, the song was actually what I heard from the little research I did before this conference. He actually, or the song was actually done about a year before it was released. And through all this time, he was quiet, silent. And that is the key. How you manage to keep your mouth shut when you are working on things will determine how you succeed in this life. I'm telling you, you're always talking. Your enemies will get you. I'm telling you, they will get you. But you learn to keep silent. I actually hear that he was made to sign a bond that makes them not talk. But whether bond or no bond, the thing he was quiet and people were insulting, people were saying things. You know, those times they used to compete with him that, oh, Stoneboy is better than him, Sarkodie is better than him, and all that. But he was silent, knowing what is coming. He could have said that, have any of them done a song with one of the world's uh, highest or let me say greatest musicians? I mean, those hip hop people. You understand? No, but he was just quiet and waiting for the release to come. And then the release spoke for itself. When it came, it was there. Shatta is king. It was there. You understand? And you see him. And in the song, check the lyric. If you check the lyrics of the song, it says a lot of things that he says it's a king that is ruling and all that. You understand? He actually wants to rule the music industry and he is on track. And for those of you that are believers, like I always say, I'm a person of faith. And for sure, you see some one or two things from my Bible. If you go to First Samuel chapter 10, verse 14 to 16, what actually happens before that is that um, a man called Saul, okay, who was later king of Israel, the people of Israel, was sent by his father to go and search for some missing donkeys. Okay, so he went with a servant and they didn't find them, and they went to see a certain prophet called Samuel. Okay, and the prophet told him where the donkeys were and told him other things that he's going to be a king in the land. And when he went back, okay, he met his uncle, and his uncle was questioning him that where was he? Okay, so it reads that, and Saul's uncle said unto him, said, where were you? Where did you go? And he said, to search for the missing donkeys. And when we saw that they were nowhere, we went to the prophet Samuel. And Saul's uncle asked him and said, tell me, please, what did the prophet Samuel say unto you? And Saul said unto his uncle, the prophet told us plainly that the asses were found and they were at home. But of the matter of the kingdom whereof Samuel the prophet spoke, Saul told not his uncle. Can you imagine that? Saul told not his uncle. If you even read earlier things, when Samuel wanted to speak to Saul concerning the kingdom, he told him to make the servant go ahead of them. You see, there are certain things in life you need to keep quiet about. Your mouth can prevent you from being successful. I'm telling you, certain things you don't tell people. Sometimes even your family members should not know. Sometimes, because it just has a way it works and it goes against you. And you need to learn the wisdom of silence. When the glory comes, the glory will speak for itself. You don't need to talk. Just keep quiet and work on it. You are working on something. Just keep quiet and work on it. And this guy demonstrated that wisdom in whilst working in these big hits. Not to dwell so much on this also, I'll move quickly to the next lesson, and that is the wisdom of affiliation. The wisdom of affiliation. Now, Shatta Wale actually has a great dream. I said earlier that he actually wants to rule the music industry. His plan is I don't want to go into the details of it, but he wants to rule the music industry in Ghana, and he's moving with it. What is the wisdom of affiliation? When Shatta was bringing this song, Shatta, knowing that this song is a lift in his career and wanting to take over the music industry of Ghana and rule, made sure that he was doing it as though he's not doing his own personal thing, but he was doing it as though he's representing the nation Ghana. And as a result of that, he's winning the hearts of many Ghanaians. So throughout the song, you see that he's with the Ghana flag. I'm not saying you should go and watch it, but he's with the Ghana flag there, doing things there, showing. So when the song was released, all the big people were forced, even those who are his enemies, because if they don't talk, people will say, this, that. Were even forced to go and congratulate him and said that Shatta has done all for Ghana. He has taken Ghana international. Shatta has done this. Shatta has done that. Shatta has done this. Shatta has done that. And even the president had to congratulate Shatta Wale. Can you imagine that? And from that time, he has become a personal friend of the president. I'm very serious about this matter. And very soon, this guy, let me not go into that matter. Let me concentrate on the wisdom here. And so we've seen three keys: the wisdom of association, the wisdom of affiliation, the wisdom of silence that this guy portrayed. Now, I want to compare this guy to two very renowned musicians in Ghana for you to see something. Now, I want to compare Shatta Wale to Sarkodie and Stonebwoy. This guy, Shatta Wale, yes, worked with Ghanaians and Nigerians and whatever, but he took his career to another level by just one song with an American or whatever. And it lifted his career. If I take you back to the first slide, I'm taking you back to the first slide for you to see something. You see, if you look down there, you see something that you see 46 million views. And it's not yet even up to 1 year. Since the song was published or brought out or premiered, it's only 8 months, only 8 months. And the song already has 46 million. That is the whole continent. Hey, no. It depends on the type of continent. But that is a whole collaboration and concatenation of countries following. And all these people have seen Shatta Wale. Meanwhile, if you go at first, before that, I've forgotten the real numbers. But before the song came out, Shatta was around 300 and something thousand subscribers and followers. But currently, Shatta Wale's followers and subscribers have increased by, I think, times 5 or something. They have become so, all of a sudden, this guy now has a lot of subscribers, he has a lot of followers, he has a lot of whatever. You can imagine. And this is because he learned the wisdom of association. Sarkodie and Cody have been playing songs, but they've been playing songs with people who are not of high distance. You see, the higher you want to go, you have to associate with the people at that level. Okay, so I wrote something down that who you work with will determine how far you go in life. Who you work with, who you work with will determine how far you go in life. The next thing is that Shatta Wale, in as much as he's doing all this and he's getting his money, Shatta Wale does not spend too much. I know what I'm saying. I really know what I'm saying. Shatta Wale does not spend too much. In all these, he's not like Sarkodie or those people. And there's, well, Stonebwoy, that's not really, I'm not very sure about that. I don't really follow them, so I don't know much. But compared to Sarkodie, he uses Bugatti, uses a lot of things, and people are even saying he's into Illuminati things and whatever. That is where he's getting his money from. But that's not the concern here. The concern here is about financial prudence. Shatta Wale getting the money from the song, a song that was a hit, a big hit, okay, didn't collect the money. He said, give all that money to Jay-Z because I want to do what to do. Jay-Z should feature me in a song. Can you imagine? So you want to work with, let's say, a very big personality. You have to do something to attract the attention of this personality. And by your association with him, all of a sudden, your life has changed. Sometimes in life, you just need somebody to say, oh, I know, let me see, yeah, yeah is available. You just, I know, yeah. You just need that big person to say, oh, yeah was my this, or yeah was my that, and your career has changed. I'm telling you. Sometimes you just need somebody to say, oh, that's my friend. Sometimes you just need a picture of you and that person walking, and then it will just change your life all of a sudden. All of a sudden, your life will just be changed by your association with certain kind of people. And I have something to show you concerning some great men of God today. The first person that I want to show you concerning is Reverend Kojo Boatin Bemba. This is an Assemblies of God pastor who uh, is rising up very quickly in the ministry. Now, this is someone, by according to the small research that I've done, the dark person there. He used to start have his church. He used to have his church in a certain place that, you hold on for me shortly. All right, sorry for that. Now, this man used to have his church services in somebody's house, and it even came to a point that this woman actually started giving him problems and even sacked him from the house. A very small church started like this, moving small. Now, by his association with two great men of God, the person you see there is Bishop Dark. His association with Bishop Dark and his association with Bishop Oyedepo. I'm sure most of you would have known Bishop David Oyedepo, a very great man of God in Nigeria. You have seen that this guy or this man of God has elevated his ministry. Right now, if I'm to tell you things about this man of God, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. All of a sudden, he's taking over Ghana. You can note him. You will start hearing of him soon. This guy, Reverend Dr. Kojo Boatin member, he's taking over Ghana. He's situated at Accra. He's moving with Bishop Dark. He's moving with Bishop Oyedepo. And if you are a believer, you believe in also the flow of graces. The greatest of these men will be flowing in his life. And all of a sudden, he starts getting divine money, riches, and all that. And he's been elevated. He's been elevated. That is the wisdom of associations. Another person is this guy, Pastor Enoch. He's a Christ Embassy pastor. And this guy too associates with Bishop Dag and with Pastor Chris. Now, that is not Pastor Chris that you see there, but that is a pastor of Pastor Chris. But he is associated with Pastor Chris also. Now, this guy, if you know him, his church is a youth church, and their order of service is really is different. It's different from the world's flow. It's different from the world's flow. Like their services is some way. Let me just put it that way for now. Their service is some way. Okay. But by people knowing that, this guy is a son of Bishop Dark, this guy is a son of Pastor Chris, all of a sudden, he gains the approval of men. He gains, like, people all of a sudden start to like him. Because people would think that, oh, this guy, oh, he's not from God, he is whatever. But once you see that, Bishop Dark, he's working with Bishop Dark. Once you see that, He's working with Pastor Chris. Once you see that he's working with these great men of God, then you begin to think twice and you are saying that, oh, the guy, he's God of God, oh, or something. You understand? And by reason of that, by reason of association, he gains approval for his ministry and he gains much more recognition or whatever. Okay. Now, these are important keys that every believer, I believe, should have knowledge of. Okay. The wisdom of association, the wisdom of silence, and the wisdom of affiliation. There are three things we learning from our model for this episode of Wisdom Conference, who is Shatta Wale, Charles something something. That is what I'm hearing his name is. I don't know whatever it is, but that is what I'm hearing. Okay. This is what this guy is teaching us as children of light, that we should learn whom we associate with. And like I said, who you work with will determine how far you go in life. And so I've started working with certain kinds of people that I know how far I'm going to go in life with these kinds of people. Certain kinds of people are also have also started working with me or associating themselves with me. And by God's grace, personally, I've also been increased by God. In a way, I can also say I'm successful in certain terms. And by reason of that, their association with me automatically they gain recognition. They've also become in a way special. They've become kind of special. And that is how that key of association works. Learn also the key of silence. Learn that wisdom of reinvestment. It's not about how much you spend or whatever. Be silent and reinvest and reinvest. When you come out, nobody can debate with you again. Yes, nobody can debate with Shatta Wale as it stands right now. People will say whatever they want to say, but nobody can debate with him. The thing has come, it has come. In the same way, just be silent. Work at it. Work at it. I said success. Success. It's not automatic. It's not an accident. It is worked at. And I said the future is for those who prepare for it. Failure is not a natural occurrence. People fail because they decide to fail. Whether you are applying these things that I'm saying in your academics, in business, in ministry, whatever, I gave ministry examples. But in your academics, you've seen that this guy is in first class, you are in lower. Instead of you to start working with the first class guys, learning with them, eating with them, doing things with them, you won't. That guy, you won't go for group studies with first class students. You are going for group studies with people who don't know anything. And then by the time you realize you're not going to go far as a student, these things you can apply them. As a minister, I've given you examples. Even Bishop Dag himself, that who is now great like this, he started by associating with great men of God, working with Benny Hinn, working with Young Icho, working with Kenneth Hagin, working with mighty men of God, great men of old. And he has become who he is today. In the same way, people are now also working with him and they are becoming people. Okay? So you can apply it. If it's business, you are an entrepreneur, you are whatever you are doing. If you associate that, there's something we call franchise or so. I'm not very sure. For example, do you know that the owner of KFC in Ghana here, or whoever that is doing KFC business here, it's not actually KFC that is here. It is some Ghanaian who owns it, but I think it's called franchise or something. It's a business. He's using KFC's name to do his business. And by reason of that, people hearing KFC, they will come and buy. If you like go to America and buy KFC and come to Ghana and buy KFC and see whether it is the same, it's not the same at all. It's a franchise. He is by wisdom of association, he's associating himself with KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And by reason of that, automatically, people knowing who KFC is, they will come to you to buy. That is how it works. So that is the wisdom of association. That is the wisdom behind it. And I'm believing that after today, you hearing this, you start thinking about people you work with. You start thinking about your association. You start thinking about how you affiliate with institutions, with things. You understand? You now also be silent when you are working on big things. Be silent because your enemies, they will do all they can to bring you down. You must be silent when you are working on things like this. All right. So without much ado, this brings us to the end of this episode of the Wisdom Conference. Okay. Wisdom Conference would span a maximum of an hour, maximum of an hour. And today, many of you were late. Next week, I'm going to do the recap of the second episode, and next 2 weeks, I'll do the recap of the third episode. Please try as much as possible to be here by 2 p.m. on the dot. By 2 p.m. on the dot. Okay, so that we start early. Okay. Now, I see a question in the chat. Someone is asking how the wisdom of affiliation can be applied to the personal life of a person. All right. Now, when we look at the wisdom of affiliation, where Shatta Wale in the international community is showing that he is affiliated to Ghana and hence he's using it to win the heart of Ghanaians. In the same way, whatever that you want to move with, for example, good. If you are working on something, let's say you want to win the heart of KNUST or the heart of your department, okay, you can do something and then you do it wearing, let's say, your t-shirt, your department t-shirt, or your like a cloth of your department or something, just to show. Then when you go there, you don't stand there like you are doing it. You don't stand there like a selfish being that, oh, I came to donate to this. No, you come and say, I came as a distant of the department of whatever, and I'm donating it. And then try as much as possible to make your department know of what you've done, and then you see the difference. Okay, if this thing came out and nobody in Ghana saw it, all that he did, the wisdom of affiliation would have been useless. So you must make sure that in the wisdom of affiliation, you must make sure that whatever you are trying to show your affiliation to, it's aware that you are affiliating yourself to it. Okay. For example, even linking it to the wisdom of association. For example, you want to say that you are the son of, I think a lot of people here are spiritual people, so I can use that example. Let's say you are the son of Bishop Dark. Okay. When you go and you do something, you are working on something big, when you stand on the international stage, your wisdom of affiliation is to make a statement that brings in the name. You say that, oh, Bishop Dark was the one who did this and did this and did that. You are affiliating, or you say, my father, Bishop Dark, or my whatever, he is the one behind all this, whatever, or whatever. You understand? And by reason of that, you are touching his heart. So if there's any key or any particular thing, you are winning him for yourself. So you see that he will like you as compared to other people. You will be a preferred one. That is the key. Let's say it is, if it's about lecturers, say you are a student, it's about lecturers. You can win the heart of a lecturer by showing your affiliation to the lecturer in terms of how he has helped you to do a particular thing. Okay. I don't know if your question has been answered. If there are any questions, I would like to receive them. Now, whilst I introduce my team members, I would like, I'll be waiting for any more questions that are available. Now, I am not an island. operating this wisdom conference. Of course, it is started by me, founded by me, and I'll be speaking and mentoring as many as join. If you have any questions, you can try and see me. You can send me an email, or you can text me. My number is on the screen there, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and then we'll take it from there. All right. Now, I am not alone. Like I said, I work with certain people, even though I started it. And on the left is Mami Efua Asante, who is in Canada. She's the head of the management of the conference, the Wisdom Conference, in charge of making sure the conference comes off. Yes, the meeting and everything, control of it, even the Zoom, how everything goes on. Yeah, she's the woman behind it. Yeah, I have two strong women behind it. And I have Margaret Annan, who is the head of the public relations and the media. All the things that you have been seeing on the page and all that, she's in charge of running all those things, in charge of how this conference appears to the public, the image of this conference publicly and all that. Okay. So that is it for now. I can see that the asker of the question is clear. And as I was introducing my people, I haven't seen any additional questions. So I want to believe that everyone is fine and clear with um, our wisdom conference for today. I want to express my appreciation to you all for trying as much as possible to be here in today's conference. Okay. I really appreciate it and I don't take it for granted at all. And I hope to see you next week, same time for about an hour. Okay. We'll be going into another important topic, and this one is going to be a mind blower. In, in- for your presence here, I'll give you a tidbit of it. The wisdom model for next week is COVID-19. Can you imagine? COVID-19 is going to teach us wisdom next week, and you can't miss it. Please do well to invite your friends. I've also realized that a number of us, we are in the group, but we have not subscribed to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. And then after subscribing to the channel, join the discussion groups. I've seen that some of us too, we've subscribed to the channel, but we've not joined the discussion group. The channel, you only see messages that are just posted. You can't do anything and you can't say anything. But in the discussion group, all messages posted to the channel will reappear in the discussion group. And then you can comment or you can say anything that you want to say. Okay, you have something to say, you have some thoughts you would like to share, anything like that. You can say it on the discussion page. But on the channel, you can't see anything like that. So let's try as much as possible, subscribe to the channel. And after subscribing, join the discussion page. I'm really happy to see you all. Wisdom Conference, when I started it, I didn't want a lot of people to come. Seriously, I wanted very few people. So I was even creating some inconveniences to make only people who are serious about succeeding in life. Because keys, wisdom keys, we don't give it to anybody. Okay? Wisdom keys, we don't give it to anybody. We give it to people who are serious about success in life. You can't be wise and be poor. But Bible talks about a certain poor wise man in a particular city. That is a mystery. We'll talk about it another day because you cannot be wise and not succeed in life. Okay. God bless you so much as we'll be sharing wisdom keys in the coming weeks, coming months, coming years. I pray that God will help you and grant you the grace that you not only listen, but you apply these keys. Check your associations, check your mouth, check your affiliations. Make your affiliations proud of you. Work on your association. And all these things are going to elevate your career. They are going to elevate your life, going to elevate whatever you are working on. God bless you for your time. And I'll see you same time next week. Have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.